It says, on that day Jesus had gone out of the house and was sitting by the sea, and large crowds gathered to him. So he got into a boat and sat down, and the whole crowd was standing on the beach. Then he spoke many things to them keep that in mind, in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some seed fell by the wayside, and the birds came and devoured them. Some fell on stony places, where they did not have much earth, and they immediately sprang up, because they had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, what happened? They withered away. Others fell among the thorns, and the thorns came up and choked them out. But others fell on good ground and yielded a crop, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. However, Jesus was speaking in parables, and parables never yield any fruit in anyone. He was not talking about that time. He was in the middle of speaking when the gospel of the uncircumcision was said to be preached. In other words, he was talking about this time, because now you hear the word, and the word itself is what makes you bear fruit. It says some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. But that never happened. In Paul's time, no one bore fruit. Everyone abandoned him. Is it so or not? The Bible says, they all forsook me, and after my departure it is finished. It means they bore no fruit. Following Paul for approximately 1,900 years, the darkness of truth descended, bringing diversity, numerous religions, countless interpretations, and eventually apostasy. It means that this was never fulfilled. That parable never came true. There were no people who bore fruit at 30 or 60. That never happened. Jesus of Nazareth spoke in parables. No. He actually said, I use parables so they won't understand. How then were they to bear fruit to 30 to 60 if he himself spoke in parables so that they would not understand? And Paul could not, because he had the 11 apostles there refuting everything he did, and they were against him. And whatever Paul spoke, James came, and John would come, and Peter would come and say, Paul says the devil was destroyed, but Peter would say, no, the devil walks like a roaring lion. And Paul says, it is only by faith. But James says, you see, it is not by faith alone, you have to work. In other words, Paul had a struggle. No one bore fruit there, not even 30. Timothy did bear fruit, but he died and could no longer speak. He chickened out. After he was a faithful example, he chickened out. Timothy was never heard from again. Paul said, look, here the key is this. God always works with a man. With Moses, the law stood firm, with just one man. With Paul, grace stood firm, but he died and it ended. Moses died and it's over. Once the representative dies, it's over. So I have the beautiful privilege that this parable for the first time began in the Growing in Grace ministry to bear fruit 100-fold, 60-fold, and 30-fold.